Da, 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 da,
I know,
da, da,
right?
da, da.
And with that, good morning and welcome to the LA Artist Podcast. We are here today with an amazing artist and sculptor and creator, Carlos Hernandez. Hello,
Hello.
welcome,
How are
welcome,
you?
welcome.
Thank you for having me.
And then we have our co-host, Andrew Rano,
Heyo.
and I am your host, Mr. David Rano. You are listening to the LA Artist Podcast, where we chat with local artists about their works, styles, what influenced them to start their artist journey, and more. Subscribe so you don't miss the latest episode. And to see bonus content, check out our website on the description below. This podcast is produced by Lorano Gallery, an LA-based gallery and studio space dedicated to showcase work from upcoming artists, as well as provide space for art shows, workshops, photo and film production. Feel free to check out the gallery at loranogallery.com. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the podcast. This has been an amazing new start for the new year. We are on season 2 finally. And like we said, we have an amazing artist and sculptor, Carlos. He goes by Kaizaku_bootleg_paraphernalia. All the links of his social and all his work is going to be in the description below. And as always, Andrew Rano, also known as Ari Studio. His info is going to be at the bottom as well. And I'm your host, Mr. David Rano, and welcome, welcome, welcome. Again, welcome.
Thank you for having me, man.
Yeah, no, it's always been fun. Like, I know we've known each other for a couple months. I can't say it's been a couple years because you've done a couple of our shows that we put together for Lorano Gallery. And again, like, even on that, like, just out of my curiosity, like, how did you find our shows to participate?
I have no idea, man. It was on Instagram.
It was just that? Just
yeah,
on Instagram?
I think you guys put an open call, and
Yeah.
I just answered it, like, for the Smog City
Yeah.
show.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, because I'm always interested on how people, like, show up. Like yeah, of course, I shouldn't be surprised because I put it on social media. I usually put a boost on it so more people can see it that I don't know. But I'm like, hey, look, people like us, and, and they reply.
Yeah,
And then we get to
funny
meet people
guys.
like you, and it's been amazing.
Yeah, it's cool, man. You guys are cool.
Yeah, thank you.
Your stuff too.
Yeah, thank you so much. And again, no, your stuff. Like, you do a lot of sculpture work, right?
It's mostly sculpture, yeah. Yeah, toys, Japanese inspired comic books,
Yeah.
underground comics stuff. Mostly wasteland stuff
Okay.
and fantasy. Those are the two things I kind of like the most.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how long have you been doing, like, this style of work?
Like, seriously, for maybe about 3 years.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
But I mean, all my life I've been drawing, painting, and stuff,
Yeah.
like coloring.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just one day I was like, oh, let me just try to do it seriously. Try to make toys and stuff,
Yeah.
Yeah. collectibles and whatnot.
And I feel like that's the background for most artists. I've been an artist all my life.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, but when did you get serious?
Mm.
Because otherwise it's just a hobby, right?
Yeah. Correct. Yeah.
So you've been doing it for about 3 years, and like, any ups and downs? Like, what made it, like, harder, or what were some of the challenges that you think you saw going from just a hobby to actually trying to make money off of it?
Just trying to, I guess, make things like not too, how you say, I guess, for lack of better words, bootleg,
Okay.
but like make it actually like look legit and
Yeah.
a bit professional, as
Yeah.
opposed to just slapping some stuff together and
Okay.
it's like, hey, it's fine,
Yeah.
But,
Take it from like an amateurish to a more professional level.
yeah, more professional looking, more clean,
Mhm.
even though like the style's still rough, but
Yeah.
making it look like it's all well put together. They just didn't slap things out
Yeah.
of nowhere together, and it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I do feel like that's definitely the challenge. Because again, as we grow up, we use whatever we can, crayons, paper, craft paper,
Yeah.
like just cheap materials, just because we want to be creative. But Like yeah, like because people do notice the differences. Did you ever feel like that when you were like showcasing like people like paying attention to the details?
Yeah, some they've told me, oh, like your packaging is like I like your packaging, like it all goes together, like the art and like I try to make it like look like a real like collectible you go find at the store, like and so I try to make everything graphically cohesive as possible.
Yeah.
Like so I know a bit of graphic design, so I try to kind of put everything together so that you can everything kind of falls into place
Yeah.
and like negative space and all this stuff. It makes sense, but at the same time, I want to keep that like kind of bootleg, like skeezy kind of
Yeah.
aspect to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just give it a little flavor.
Yeah, yeah, because I do see that like even just your style, like a little bit of the punk rock, that grunginess,
Yeah,
it's still clean, but it has grunge to it. If does that make sense? Yeah.
No.
Of course not.
yeah.
Never. It's art. No. But yeah, because like your stuff, I do. It was one of the things where when you showed up to our booth, even when you applied, like I was like, dude, like it's weird in a cool way, like in that punk rocker way, and I wasn't sure what to expect when you showed up, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, that he looks like he's the one who makes it.
Oh yeah,
You know?
like, yeah. Yeah,
But yeah, and usually, like, how long does it take you to make a piece?
like those little guys, maybe couple weeks to sculpt it, and then I go through all the process of making the copy. Like I have to make a rubber mold and vacuum seal that, and then the resin, plastic
Yeah.
resin. So all that was like kind of like I've never done it before, so it was kind of like a learning curve. So I had a couple errors,
Yeah.
the usual. Just I watched a couple YouTube videos and kind of just practice at it.
Mhm.
Eventually, I got it kind of right to where I wanted it, and kind of just I got used to the
Yeah.
timing of things.
Yeah.
But overall, like from sketching it to sculpting it and producing it, maybe I could like a couple months, 2 months.
Okay. I can dig that. No, yeah, because it is one of those things where I know sculpting and doing the resin work like that just by itself takes time. Just the technical aspect of it.
Yeah.
Working with the materials, the curing, the drying, and all that, even just the painting. But like, do you sketch it out first before you start sculpting, or do you just sculpt and make the design as you're working on it?
Sometimes I sketch it out. Most of the time I do. I sketch it out and to kind of get an idea of the character.
Yeah.
Or there's been times where the character's just in my head, and I just go straight for the clay and just sculpt it, and then as I go, I kind of change it around,
Okay.
and I do like the sculpt first, then I do the drawing.
And doing that, which one's easier?
The sketching first.
The
Is easier.
sketching
Yeah.
before molding,
Yeah, because
instead
then
of molding and then
instead of
figuring it out.
sculpting, because
Yeah.
sometimes like you're starting to build armature under it to put the clay on top, and then you're like, I don't want it like this way, but you already made the armature, like the bones of it, so you're kind
Yeah.
of like,
You're stuck with it,
you just
yeah.
get stuck with it. So I just kind of make it work, see what you get.
I know. And do you have like a specific name for your characters for your toys, or even just like a specific series? Because I know you have the guy standing up. I don't know if you can see it on camera. There's a head, and then there's like another little guy.
These two guys, they're part of the Mutant Gremlins line,
Mm-hmm.
which is little mutant gremlins that live in the wasteland, and I guess if the lore behind it would be they're used as battle fodder by
Okay.
other like humans like that are living in the wasteland, they're Mad Max style,
Okay.
and they just kind of just steal them and put armor on them, give them bombs, and they
they're
just
like,
toss
"Just
them
go."
like, yeah, just go, and
Yeah.
they're just like all wild and like wild animals basically.
Yeah.
So that's what those guys are. the severed head. That's a character I made called Groggy Ramon, and he's just like a mechanic, like mutant guy. He's basically like a ghoul,
Okay.
and that's just a severed head that was found on the side of the road. You know,
Somebody found.
yeah,
somebody found.
yeah. And the last guy over there, that little guy, that's a psychic nightmare. That's a horrible creature that few have seen and survived. It has these weird psychic abilities that can cause massive headaches, hallucinations, and mass psychosis.
Okay. I
So,
can dig that.
Yeah, the reason that they call it psychic nightmare is because once you see it out there and it smiles at you, looks at you with the eye, like you're not your chances of survival, because it just next thing you know, your vision's all blurry and
Yeah.
like it got you.
It's in your head.
Yeah,
Essentially. Yeah.
and it's highly volatile, highly nuclear.
Oh,
So sometimes they're just known to just explode, and you got a big mushroom cloud.
that's funny.
That's why it's called a psychic nightmare.
That's funny. That's cool. I can dig that.
So yeah, most of my stuff is like that, like post-apocalyptic themed. I do like little fantasy stuff. That's why I kind of do like I don't know if you remember those mushrooms I have.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
like-
yeah.
Like the mushrooms with the eye. That's part of that, like the kind of fantasy style
Nice.
of theme.
And I see all these toys are like small. What's the biggest toy that you've done,
Um,
or the biggest sculpt that you've done?
that's small.
That's the biggest.
Yeah, that's the biggest.
Okay.
For mass production,
Yeah.
the like a one-off biggest thing I've done, maybe like about this big.
Okay.
Like
About
6 to 8 inches.
Yeah, around there. Yeah, yeah. I haven't really sculpted anything that big.
oh, okay. I was just curious.
Yeah, since I was like I had the idea of
Yeah.
I was gonna reproduce them. So if
they're big, then that's more material.
yeah, more material,
that's-
and
yeah,
I kind of
more
wanted
time,
to
yeah.
make them smaller for
Yeah.
make it easier for people to kind of just want to grab one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because
You
these are what, like 4 inches?
Yeah, about 4 inches. Yeah.
Like I have my cue card, so I'm like, I know. Like roughly, it's like okay.
Would
4
you
inches.
would you ever do like a sculpt that's like a 1 foot sculpt?
Yeah. Yeah.
What about a 5 foot or 4
4
foot
foot sculpt.
like almost like almost to
You're-
because you said these
You're
are
Michelangelo's David sculpt,
oh,
but a post like a
I'd-
post
I'd have
apocalyptic.
to.
that would actually be pretty cool. Yeah, it would be like, well, first it would be space,
Yeah.
and then the amount of materials, and then how heavy it's gonna be.
Yeah, and then I'm like, what do I sculpt it out of? Because I'm not gonna buy like a palette of super sculpey and
It's just clay.
like like what kind of clay? Like I've
That clay that was it the Crayola clay that you put in the microwave and then they harden?
oh that stuff.
No?
Nah, that won't work. Probably, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
But you'd have to find a big enough oven to
Or
Or
the air dry one.
air dry clay.
There's
The air dry clay.
I know there's like the movie prop makers whenever they have to do something big like that, they sculpt it out of foam.
Oh yeah.
So they get these big blocks of foam, and then they go in, and then they apply whatever clay to do the finer details. So that way it's not super heavy, and like it's easy to sculpt, easy to like take, but and they just add your whatever's around it.
yeah, they use
Add the details.
they use a big like 5-gallon buckets of the whatever material they're using, like the
Yeah.
clay.
Yeah, because I think even for that foam is that you can find it like at Home Depot, whatever, that spray, then it expands.
Oh yeah.
So like even just doing the wire inner body and then spray it with that, and then so you can have at least something to work on, and then sculpt that, and then
Yeah, you
I
probably
think
did that way.
add the clay to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just we're not sculptors. We just curious and like how can it be possible for
It's possible. I mean,
yeah.
the people do it all the time, so
Yeah.
you just gotta figure out a way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it is one of those things where it's like we're definitely not sculptors, but we know enough of like the fundamentals and techniques.
Mm-hmm.
Just because we like Googling and watching behind the scenes, even for movie props, like how did they make that prop or whatever? And it's like, and it's fun, but that would be, even if it's like a 1 foot, a 1 foot piece.
Or like an actual life size
Yeah.
version of that. Like,
Yeah,
like how it would look in real life if that thing was standing here. Like
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
that'd be like about this tall.
that'd be sick.
Yeah, a good like a 3 feet ish, maybe 4. But yeah, that would be really cool. And then the cool thing would be because these little gremlins they have the helmets on top,
Mm-hmm.
making it where the helmet is removable,
Oh,
so you can
the-
see like
yeah.
the eyes and if they have hair or whatever.
They have little beady eyes.
Yes.
They're
Well, yeah, well,
they're
even
they're
that
like
just-
this small, and they glow in the night.
Well, yeah, that's what, and that's what you could like remove the helmet and like see
Yeah,
them.
like,
Put the helmet back on. Put it back on.
Yeah,
That'd be really cool.
yeah. So I have him on my shirt here.
Yeah.
He's attacking a guy in the
Ooh.
car and trying to
I know.
That's
shotgun
sick.
him.
And do you have? I know, like you have your sculptors. Your do you also have like T-shirts and stuff like that made with?
All
or-
the links to that are in my bio on Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah, so I guess we can. I'll let you know after the.
Yeah.
You're gonna put it on the.
Yeah, I'll put it on the thing. Yeah, because like again, your work is amazing already.
Thank you.
And so like even T-shirts, because I do like the graphic style, that grunginess, that comic book style that you have. And then you also brought a couple pieces that are drawings.
I did, yeah.
And most of them are ink on paper.
Yeah, ink on paper. Yeah, that's what I like to work with, and I painted these in color, but it's digital.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I do it in acrylic or watercolor, but most of the time I do it in digital.
Do you prefer black and white over color?
Yeah, sometimes, most of the time.
Most of the time.
Yeah, I just like that manga kind of comic book style.
Yeah.
So I think that looks cool for me. Like, color's fine, but I highly prefer the
Yeah.
black and white style.
Have you ever done one of your characters in black and white, like just grayscale?
I have not.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, I've never done it. I've always just done the color like I like the whole like miniature painting stuff. So
Yeah.
that's where that came from. I just started painting like I take the Hot Wheels, make a miniature like Mad Max style cars out of them.
Yeah.
And that's how I kind of got started painting these little characters like that, and painting sculptures
Ooh. Yeah.
from doing that.
Yeah, because is there a specific type of paint that you have to use? Because you use resin for the character itself. Well, once you made the mold and all that.
Acrylic.
Well,
Yeah.
Just regular acrylic?
Yeah, just regular acrylic.
And
yeah.
then do you have to like prime it first? Or sand it down?
I sand it down.
Sand it down?
Yeah, I sand it down to give it some tooth,
Mm-hmm.
and then sometimes I put primer, but most of the time just go straight up paint on it and just do layer by layer, slowly. Like I try to do like 3 layers, and
Yeah.
then I do a little bit of like black wash, just to give it kind of more grungy,
Yeah.
to make the crevices pop out a little more,
Yeah.
make it look a little more dirty.
Yeah, some of the little shadows and stuff like that.
Yeah, some highlights.
Yeah, because like it's always fun to learn about the process. Like demystifying like how it's made.
Mm-hmm.
Like well, it's made with basic fundamentals.
Yeah,
Like, it's like you make the sculpture, you do the mold, you pour in the resin or whatever, and then. But yeah, because it's not like anybody's gonna steal your idea, because like they won't be able to reproduce that. It's like knowing the technique is not gonna be like, oh, I know how you made it. Like no, it's more than that.
You can try. Go ahead.
Yeah, you can try.
I mean,
Yeah,
why not? Just
I
give it
feel
a
like
go.
that's one of the things.
Less work for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, make your own thing.
Yeah,
Like, you
yeah.
know, it's just like I
Well,
don't mind.
yeah, because I forgot with who we were talking about. 'Kay, it's like if you see somebody else trying to copy you, it's like I've made it.
Yeah,
It's like somebody's trying to copy me. The
like,
same way, like I used to try to copy Batman and
Yeah, right.
Marvel,
Yeah.
and like, I made
yeah.
it.
I mean, that's how you learn. You know,
Yeah.
you look at other people's work and kind of if you see how they make it, then you're like, oh, let me try that, and then
Yeah.
you go ahead and try it. And I mean, essentially, you're always just gonna make it your own. You know,
Yeah.
your own style, and even though you're kind of using the same basic techniques, but at the end of the day, it's your own style,
Yeah.
your own flavor.
Yeah. Yeah. That is one thing that we always advocate for is like, no, you have to know the fundamentals, and it's okay. That's why, like in school, they'll teach you, like to try to replicate or even just like do a the Starry Night, the Van Gogh.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, paint that, and because you want to get to know specific techniques,
Right. Yeah.
or it's like, oh, do a Da Vinci or do Salvador Dali or whatever, just to the practice.
Right. Yeah.
And then once you get the practice, then like, okay, now make it your own. Now that you have the practice, make it your own.
Yeah. So I know it's probably cliche, but that's what some of the our teachers I've had. They're like, oh, you know, just, you have to learn the rules before you can break them.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah,
But
and that is true. Yeah, because it is. I feel like that's always the hardest thing. Because as artists, we sometimes feel that we want to be unique from the get go.
mm-hmm.
It's like I want to be my own artist. Like no, but you have to learn. You have to learn how to walk before
Right. Yeah.
you can run. And even at that, you have to learn how to crawl before you can even walk. And then,
Start doing backflips.
yeah,
You know. Like,
and but that's I feel like that's always the hard part. And so with that in mind, like how long did it? Because I know you said you've been doing it seriously for about 3 years, but how long did it take you to walk before you took that leap into it?
um.
Like, did you have to practice before you were like, okay, now I could do it seriously?
Yeah. I mean, a couple years. I just messed around with like the clay. Like I took a couple classes on um sculpture, like
Mm-hmm.
how to make maquettes and stuff. And I just messed around with it. And if I ran into a problem, you know, I just look it up on the internet, and
Yeah.
then I kind of found all these other artists that do sculpture too, and then I just looked at how their techniques and stuff, and try to not necessarily copy, but you know, just kind of get some uh, inspiration from that, or like even making your own tools.
Yeah.
Like I've seen other artists that make their own tools, and um, like I made tools out of guitar string and like metal straws.
Ooh.
Sculpting tools,
Yeah.
just scrape by the details and stuff. But
I-
that, you know, I learned it from watching other artists do it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because I do that. Yeah, that's definitely the a true artist like will just make up the tools that they need at
Mhm.
that time. Because I know I've done it every now and again, even when we do filmmaking or in production, where it's like I know that they sell a specific adapter to go from this to that, but I'm like, well, I have all the wires. Like I can just like, okay, I know a little bit of
Mhm.
electrical, so okay, I'll snap this wire in half and then connect them together, so I could be able to make sure that goes from there to there, and then like, okay, make another adapter for that, and just make it up as you go along,
Yeah.
and makes
We-
it more unique.
and we also know other artists that like they needed to evenly distribute paint across the whole canvas and to make it a smooth transition.
Hmm.
But I mean, brushes are only 3 6-inch brushes or whatever. But it was a larger canvas, so it's like what they did was they put two paint brushes together and make a full giant paintbrush. Like for listeners, I know you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah,
And then
we had her on the podcast.
just making their own like giant
Yeah.
paintbrush, and then just using that for the whole canvas. So it's like, as artists, sometimes we don't need to buy specific things. We just make it.
Yeah.
We could just make it.
That's part of the fun too. You just
Yeah.
you figure out how to make your own tools.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like that's part of the artistry.
Right.
Because it's like, nobody's gonna have that tool.
Mm-hmm.
Like you made it. It looks janky, but
Yeah,
you
but
made it,
it
and it
works.
worked
Yeah.
for your work, for your style, and
Yeah, for sure, man.
but yeah, that is pretty cool though. That's pretty cool. And then with that in mind, we'll do a quick little segment that have you heard the podcast before?
I've heard a little bit. Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
I was about to say, if you haven't, how dare no? I'm just kidding.
I checked out.
Oh,
before
you
I
did your
came.
homework.
Yeah,
That's good. That's good. So it's the Quick and A. We're gonna do a quick little Quick and A, which is a series of quick questions and answers. You have to answer as quickly as you can,
Okay.
and you will get graded,
All right.
not by us, but by the
On
audience.
the audience.
By our listeners.
So pay attention.
Put attention.
Dogs, shut up. I'm just kidding. I think they heard me. Oh, no.
They're like, what?
Like what? But yeah, so the Quick and A, we're gonna do it, and we'll start off again with some basic questions that we always ask, and then we'll go a little bit faster and faster every time.
All right.
Are you ready?
Go
Are you nervous?
Nah.
You better be.
All right.
All right. So here we go. Pen or pencil?
Pen.
Pen, ballpoint or gel pen?
Gel pen.
Gel pen.
Gel
I
pen.
think that's the first gel pen we've had. Everybody else goes ballpoint.
Nah, gel
Top-
pen.
Technically, it's all about ballpoint. Well, fountain pen for the most part.
Everybody else is correct.
Everybody else is good now. Favorite medium?
Medium. Pen and ink.
Pen and ink. Okay. Favorite shape?
I guess a sphere.
A sphere. All right. A 3D sphere.
Like round things.
Round. I can dig that. Drink of choice while you're painting or while you're doing your sculptures?
IPA.
IPA.
Or coffee. Depends on what time of the.
No, so no
Day.
coffee porters, dude.
Just
Coffee porter?
Yeah, just go
just
for a coffee.
just
That's
IPA.
it.
Yeah, coffee porter.
IPA 7 in the morning.
7 in the
Nice
morning.
liquid
IPA.
bread.
Yeah.
Well, you are a designer. RGB or CMYK?
RGB because I do things digitally.
Yeah, but you also print stuff, so no CMYK. You don't care about.
No, I don't.
Yeah,
I
you don't care about the
I don't
printing.
print. I don't print mostly. It just yeah. So
What's your top song to listen to?
that's hard. I don't know.
Well, like just in the past week or so, like what's been on your playlist?
Reverend Horn Heat.
Okay, I
Yeah.
can dig that. What is the paint brand of choice?
Liquitex.
Liquitex, please sponsor us, please. Thank you. That's
Yeah.
how we try to get sponsored.
Yeah, send me free stuff.
Yes. Well, no, give us money
Give us
so we
money.
can promote your stuff.
All right, yeah.
Not just send us free stuff.
Like, come on, man.
Give us money and we'll promote it. Well, we did talk about this a little bit. Chess or checkers?
Chess.
Favorite chess piece?
Piece. I guess the queen.
Queen?
Yeah.
It's all about the queen.
Queen. Yeah.
I can dig that. She always gets sacked though for the end games. Dedicated workspace, or do you just do it wherever it is that you want?
No, I have to have my dedicated workspace.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is it clean or messy?
It's messy during the process, but
But you do
try
clean
to
it up.
clean it as
Okay.
best possible. So I set it up kind of like reset for the next thing.
Okay. I can dig that. So
But-
you don't have just an organized mess for the most part?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. Yeah.
Organized mess, but
I
then
know.
like that-
I know where everything's at, so it's like
Okay.
That's what I mean by clean. Like it's like just-
It's
I know-
clean.
I know where-
I know where things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can dig that. Do you use Apple Pencil or a Wacom tablet?
Wacom.
Wacom tablet.
Yeah.
Ah. Is it Cintiq or just the tablet?
Uh
Cintiq is the one with the screen that you're painting on.
oh no, I wish I had that. Nah,
Yeah?
it's just a tablet.
Oh,
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So So Cintiq or Wacom, please sponsor us. He needs a Cintiq. Me too. I do.
You're like two.
Yeah, two.
Two,
Yeah,
right?
one for
Or three, why
Yeah,
not?
one
I
review.
mean, if you're asking for, I'll take one.
Right? What's your most used color?
Green.
Green. Okay.
Yeah,
I can dig. I can see that for
green.
little gremlins and whatnot. What's your favorite old master?
I like Goya.
Goya.
Yeah,
I can dig that.
I like his stuff because it looks cartoony in a way.
Yeah.
Like you see his old paintings when he painted for like all the like royalty or whatever. It's kind of real looking, but kind of weird cartoon at the same time. If you look at the eyes,
I can see that. I can see that.
and then it's darker stuff. It's
Yeah.
really what I really like.
Well, hence and also your style.
Yeah. So
He also has a bean company, right?
Goya. Yeah.
Goya beans.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's
His own beans company.
Beans.
Beans and paint. That's
his,
all you
his
need.
side hustle. His beans.
Secret talent.
I cannot say.
You cannot say. Oh, it's
No, I don't
secret.
know. Secret.
I can dig that. Favorite game to play.
Kind of hard. I have a lot.
Pick one.
I guess Metal Slug.
Metal Slug.
Yeah, Metal Slug.
Which one?
That's a fun
The-
one.
The X.
X. Okay.
Metal Slug X.
I can dig
That's a
that.
fun one.
That is a fun one. What is the biggest sell you've made? Do you have one?
Nah,
No, not yet.
not yet.
No, it's just a lot of
It's just
consistent.
a lot of
small-
little
okay.
things. Yeah,
When you make
Wow.
the life size one, right? That's gonna be
that's gonna be
Yeah.
the
So
big one.
with that in mind, it's just that we've seen in like Comic-Con or whatever when there's a spot that they have like the busts
Mm-hmm.
and the sculptures y todo eso. That's what I was envisioning, like if you did like a 1 foot bust of one of your characters, and it's like, even if it's, I mean, you'll have it for sale like at a high price, but it'll be kind of like a centerpiece, like,
Oh, I
this
see
is
what you mean. Yeah.
yeah, have it at your table. It's like, oh, this is what he can do. Oh, he's selling the smaller ones
Mm-hmm.
that are more affordable.
I'm working on something like that right now.
Yeah, there you go.
Like it's probably like about this big.
Yeah, like a 1 foot, like
Yeah,
even if it's just a 1 foot bust.
But
like
it's
something,
a 1 of 1.
yeah.
Yes,
So
yes.
that's what I started the year with.
Those
year.
are cool. I can dig
Nice.
that. And then to finish off, we'll do 2 more. Favorite vegetable.
Onions.
Ooh,
Yeah.
he's an onion. I love
Ooh.
onions.
Onion, yeah.
I love onions.
Grilled onions.
You can do so
No,
much with
no.
the onions, dude.
Nobody in my house likes onions except me.
Yeah, dude, they're
Mm.
so versatile. You could literally do a lot with them. And then the last one, what food would you pair with your artwork?
onions.
Probably roadkill tacos.
Ooh, roadkill tacos.
Yeah.
I can see that with a Mexican Coke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mexico. Yeah. Why not?
Yeah,
Yeah,
roadkill
Mexico.
tacos
Yeah,
with a
roadkill
Mexican Coke.
and
Yes.
Mexican Coke.
I can dig that. Thank you for participating.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and again, let us know what grade he should get. I recommend. It was a really good. It was a really good roundup. Again, one of the first ones to say gel pen
Yeah,
as the plane
but then-
flies over.
Nobody likes gel pens.
But then he started off with a gel pen, so it's like, I don't know.
Actually, I prefer brush. And
Oh,
dipping
the
it
brush
in,
tip pens?
No,
Oh,
just a brush. A paintbrush dipping it into the ink bottle.
Okay.
Oh, a dip pen.
Yeah.
The
Some of those.
pen.
Is it a fountain pen or
No,
it's just a brush?
a really thin brush,
Oh, okay.
and
all right.
dipping it into the
Into the ink and
into
then
the
just,
ink.
I gotta add that
Just-
to the thing.
yeah,
That's usually what I do with most of my ink drawings.
do some like Chinese, Japanese calligraphy type of thing. Brush.
Yeah, you can use those.
I can do that. Yeah, I feel like with that, your grade gets bumped up. I would say, I would give you like a B plus for
B
sure.
plus. Cool.
B plus.
I give him a B minus.
I'll take it too.
As long as it's not
Passing
D.
grade.
Yeah, right. I pass. I don't care.
I know. But yeah, and again, with that in mind, Thank you for participating on the Quick and A, and then we'll do a quick commercial break. Hello and welcome back after that little commercial break. Hopefully you enjoyed the commercial and you buy stuff and whatnot, because it does support us for the podcast and whatnot. And I know the dog in the background is very happy that we're back and ready to go. And one of the things that we always try to figure out and ask our guests and all the artists that we usually interact with is about the artist journey. Because it's a journey. It's not a set goal. You just have to go through it. And so in that artist journey, it's like, where do you see yourself now? Like at the beginning, in the middle? Did you finish already? Are you good to go? Can you retire?
In the beginning.
Still?
Yeah. Still not where I want to be at. And I still got a lot to learn. So, I mean, I'm sure that's never gonna stop, right?
Yeah.
The learning process. But no, I feel like I just got started, like to where like I'm satisfied with the quality of my work. I mean, it could always use more improvement, but where I feel confident that I can show it
I can
to the public.
Yeah. And I always like that question just because it makes you think of like, where am I really?
Mm-hmm.
Because again, like I feel like in my career, I'm somewhere in the middle, because I've been doing art for so long now, and like I know what my strengths are, I know where my weaknesses are, I know what I can and can't do, I know how to price myself, I know what I need, and I know that I can say no to a client that doesn't want to pay me for my worth.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm like I'm good. But yeah, it's always good to know where you are. And even with that, like, have you ever had any doubts on your journey? Like, have you ever had any, like, because obviously it's a big step to actually go, into it, and then once you're into it, did you ever have any doubts? And then how do you get out of that mindset?
Yeah. I mean, I've had moments where I've gone and tried to set up a booth somewhere, and I've sold nothing. So that's kind of like the first time you encounter that, you're kind of like, oh, like I don't even want to do this anymore. Like what's the point? But after a while, you just get over it. You're like, oh, it's just, I guess it's part of it. Just it's not gonna come easy overnight. So you just gotta keep trying.
I like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, because it is a journey. It's just one event.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have another one.
Yeah, there's always more, and you just can't let that beat you down.
Yeah,
and give up. Even though sometimes you feel like that's what you want to do, you're like, you just want to toss everything.
Yeah.
You're like, nah, I don't want to do this anymore. But yeah, you go back and you're like, I'll give it one more shot.
I like that. Yeah, because it is one of those things where it has happened even for us after doing it for so long. It's like why are we here, right? It's like why? But then I'm like, oh yeah, you'll get one person that they might not buy anything, but they're like, oh, this is really cool. You've inspired me to create something. Like, oh yeah, that's why I'm doing it.
Right.
Yeah. And what kind of shows do you prefer, or is there a preference to where your art can shine?
I'm not sure. I guess
like, do you prefer like outdoor shows, comic convention shows?
I guess an outdoor show. Kind of like that. I never tried a convention. But someday I want to do it though, but I feel like I need a little bit more inventory.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's like the only thing, the inventory aspect of it.
Yeah, just because I want to make it worth it. Like
Yeah.
the some of these like conventions, they charge a lot to just put your booth and stuff, and
yeah.
you're like kind of but maybe have bigger things, a little bit more like when I try to kind of create stuff to where you want to make something, like, I guess, affordable, like not so much, kind of like have a price range for everyone. Maybe somebody might not want to spend like $200 on a toy, and they like a little small thing I have for like $7, $10.
Yeah.
But it's still like a little piece of like the artwork that you see and they can take home, you know?
I like that. Yeah, you have a good mentality on that. Yeah, because I know Andy and I, we've talked about that a lot. Because that's how my brain works sometimes. Whereas, like, if we're going to do a show, we have to have enough inventory to not only break even, but to make sure that we can make more money.
Mm-hmm.
Versus, like, oh, it costs this much for the show, so I have to make sure that I can at least cover that. Like, no, you have to, shoot for the stars. Always have extras.
Yeah.
And obviously, because you don't want to sell out during the show, because then it's like, well, now there's no more money coming in.
Yeah, you're like, it's the middle of the show. You're like, I don't have anything else.
Yeah, it's like, well, now what? It's like everything's sold, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
But if you had a little bit more, like, oh, you would have had a little bit more.
Sorry to interject, but this it happened to a friend of mine where he did one of those I think it was Comic-Con, and he thought he had enough inventory, and he sold out the first day, and there were still 2 other days, so he was struggling to like find like where to like a printer to make prints that night or that morning to be able to like to have stuff for the following for the other 2 days basically. So yeah, when it comes to big events like that, it's like, yeah, it's better to have more. And if you don't have enough inventory to cover like a lot, then it's better not to do it, because otherwise
I think
otherwise
it's
you have nothing. Yeah,
kind of tricky too, like, because you don't want to. I mean, at least for me, I don't want to be stuck with all this inventory and it doesn't move, and it's kind of just sitting there collecting dust at your house, and you spend all this time just looking at like.
That's the other side of the coin.
Yeah,
So it's like too much inventory. It's like
hard balance. Kind of.
Yeah, and I feel like that's when you have to do your research on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously you have to have good inventory management in general, just for yourself. But if you're gonna do a big, comic book convention where a lot of small things sell, then you don't want to just focus on getting big things made. Like, no, focus on the small things.
Yeah.
And then if you know that you're gonna do a gallery show where big things sell, it's like you're not gonna just take a bunch of small things. Like, no, okay, focus on the bigger stuff.
Yeah, that's what I kind of the point I got to now is to try to make little things, and I've seen people, they like the little things a little bit more, like little toys, as opposed to more bigger stuff. But like you said, it depends also where you're going. Like,
yeah. I've said this before, like at other podcasts, but something I learned from a friend of mine, to have like something big just to catch people's eye. Sometimes you might catch the person that actually wants to buy the big thing, so which is a big plus. But it catches people's eye, the big stuff, and then they're like, oh, okay, yeah, I wish I could buy that, but I can't afford it. Like, oh, you have smaller versions of it. I'll take some of those.
Yeah.
So it's always something big to catch people's eye, and then they'll just get something smaller, which is more affordable in their price range. So that's a smart way to do it.
Yeah, and then that's where, obviously you do sculptures, which is kind of a different thing. But like for artwork, that's where you can have prints. And again, you can even have different types of prints, not just high-end G-clay archival extra fancy paper prints, but even just regular, still high quality but Canon photo paper.
Right. Yeah.
And it's like, okay, because if they can't get the big one, but they don't want to spend a lot on the print. They're like, oh, here's an 8x10 that's on photo paper, $10. I could do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah, and you can
like, and then they can see the difference. Okay, that's $10, but the archival G clay is 45. I'm like, oh, you can actually see the difference.
Yeah,
And like,
the
okay,
detail and
and it's still not
quality.
$4,500 for the big one, but it's like, okay, but you still get good quality and you know, giving that affordability and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for your sculptures, like you have these sculptures that run for like 60 to $80, right?
Yeah.
Depending on the detail, the size, or whatever. So it's like, oh, that's cool. Like, I wish I could get a sculpture, but I don't have 60 to $80. Oh, you have smaller stuff that are like keychain size or whatever.
Mhm.
It's like, oh, that's $20. All right, I'll get one of those.
Yeah, usually that stuff, it's like
Yeah.
it doesn't take that much more time to paint and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So like as opposed to like those guys, I had there's several parts to them
Mm-hmm.
that I had to put together.
Yeah.
And because when you're copying them in resin with the mold, like it's kind of hard to get in the little crevices and detail.
Yeah.
So I had to mold everything separate. So like the hands, like the dynamite you see on his back. And I take those pieces and then put them together in a puzzle. Like
Uh-huh.
after I painted them and then put everything together. But to me, it's like I've had to kind of do trial and error to figure all this stuff out.
Mm-hmm.
Like I try to do just a one shot it right, and then I take it out of the mold and it doesn't work.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn.
Yeah, and you also don't want to simplify it too much either.
Yeah.
Because you could make it, if it's simpler, with less detail, you can do it one shot, but then it's not detailed enough. So
right. Yeah.
It don't look the same.
it don't look. Yeah.
Yeah. Those things. So
It don't look as good.
yeah, I know, but yeah, and even with that, speaking of that, on how you've had to experiment and stuff like that, if you could give advice to somebody who's starting, whether it be just as a regular artist or even in your field of doing toys and sculptures, what advice would you give them?
just do a bit of research and look at other artists, or like do what you like. Like if you like toys, sculptures, look at that, and just really look at the stuff and kind of to get you a feel of how things work. Like, and just keep at it. Just do it.
I can
You
do
know?
that. Is there specific people you saw that you found inspiration from?
Yeah. There's this I like the sculpture. It's called Sculpture Geek,
Mhm.
and he puts out videos here and there. They're kind of far in between, but every time he does a video, like it's a really 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 like detailed and crazy sculpture.
I can dig that.
Not too big. He's done like maybe like this big,
Yeah.
but it's all these like characters like he's done it like a Kratos one, or like Sonic, like things like that, and just the detail of like the hair, like the process of putting like individual strands of hair, like making noodles out of the clay and stuff, and like
That's
I'm just
crazy.
looking at him like, damn, this guy, like that took hours,
Yeah.
but yeah, I've found inspiration in looking at those videos.
I can, yeah, because again, like we love sharing our techniques, our inspirations, people that have inspired us, just because we also want to inspire others,
Right.
and again, like I said, your work is amazing. It's really cool.
Thank you.
And again, that punk rocker grungy, like it's cool. I don't know. That's the best way I can describe it. It's cool. And how would you describe your artwork?
Yeah, like punk, like kind of manga inspired, DIY ish, like the
Okay.
whole like I like the whole like punk DIY aesthetic. So I think the whole do it yourself thing, it's what
Yeah.
kind of drives the style.
And also what drives you, right? To
Yeah.
just keep going.
Yeah.
I can dig that. Yeah. No, and like I said, like we love having these conversations. Again, thank you for being a part of the show, and
Thank you for having me.
yeah, and like I said, we'll put all your links at the bottom in the description. Kaizoku _bootleg _ paraphernalia, and yeah, I usually spell things out, but I'm like, yeah, just put it.
Like, just put it there.
Just put it in the description. But Carlos, thank you for being part of the show.
Thank you for having me, guys. This is cool.
There will be an after show, so stay tuned for next week for the after show. But yeah, no, it's always a pleasure to hang out and chill out, and we do want to see what you have for the future. Those bigger pieces, I think those are gonna be pretty cool.
I want to see a 1 foot sculpture from you.
1 foot sculpture.
Yeah.
No, I want to see the what would be the life size.
Eventually, the
this
life
thing?
size
Yeah.
of your little gremlin.
Yeah, that can be.
That's the 3 foot sculpture, right?
Yeah, that
Yeah,
can be
yeah,
It's
for
about 3 feet.
About 3 or 4 feet, like a small child.
Yeah,
There you go.
That could be for the maybe towards the end of the year, maybe next year.
Yeah, that's next year. That's next year's sculpture.
Yeah,
Have like
next year.
a little life size one.
Yeah, I have stuff planned out for
Planned
this
out.
year. Yeah,
Yes.
Ooh,
it
nice.
says I'm working on a frog right now, like a toad,
Ooh,
like this big.
yes.
So that's what I'm working on.
Yeah. We'll talk about that on the after show.
All right, for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, sneak peek for the after show. But again, thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out and making your time to chill.
Thank you for having me, man.
And then, like I said, Andy, thank you for being part of the show. This has been the Lardest Podcast with Carlos Hernandez and Rano, and I am Mr. David Rano. Thank you for checking it out. You have been listening to the LA Artist Podcast. Feel free to like, follow, and subscribe so you don't miss the latest episode. You can see bonus content on our Instagram at Lorano Gallery, as well as our website, loranogallery.com/podcast. Stay creative, keep creating, and no matter what, be passionate about your art.